Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm Teri at Holding Your Space. And today we have a beautiful guest, Debbie Dement, Huna Kama Roja. So lovely to have you here, Debbie. We were backstage talking, and I could have talked for hours. So sorry, we're a couple of minutes late coming on. But I'm so excited about this energy today and what you bring to our group, our tribe. um, because I've been watching you on Val's channel and Allie's channel, and the grounding exercises that you're doing, and the work that you're doing with animals. And like most empaths, all of us have animals that we love deeply here, just about everybody. So, anyway, I want to say hi to a few of our people that are here. Paul's here. Sarah, hello, Sarah. I've got your questions. Annie Bear standing with the
Oh,
light, seven feather. Hello. And Annie Bear was real excited about you being here today. She can't wait. Hi, Barbara. Nice to see you. And Paul Freed. Hello. So, Sally, welcome, welcome. Sally is going to have some good questions. She lives in Arizona and she gets a lot of action on her land. So, just amazing. And let's see, Barbara. Hello, Cheryl. And nice to see everybody that's here. So, and everybody that comes later. So, we were talking about the format today, and I'm so excited, Debbie, that you're going to be doing some grounding exercises for us, some bubbling, and talk about shiatsu. So,
we're actually going to start off with a little bit of the Lemurian light codes to begin with.
nice.
And I thought it would be helpful to do what's called a harmonization. And that will basically bring all of our energies in together. And then after that, I'm going to do what's called basically an undoing and a doing. And what I mean by that is I'm going to be doing some light codes that you're going to hear that will help to collapse our stories. Right now, if you've caught me on the other shows, you'll probably be hearing me talking a lot about how manipulated we are. There's a lot of stories that are going on. Most of us are empaths, so we're feeling like the sky is falling, our world is collapsing in, and it's actually not us. We're actually picking up on the energy of a different group. And so by doing this, this will help to collapse some of the old stories that we have going on and help us clean slate it. Some people will call this going to 0 point. Other people will call it scalar energy. You can do it, yes, from the central sun. But that's basically that bright white. Yeah, you've got it. The bright white light energy, and my channel is already open. So if you'll see me hearing and talking to things that aren't here, I'm actually hearing things from the other side that'll be coming through. But doing this will help to bring us all into harmony. So I'm going to start off there, and then I'm going to do a grounding exercise right after that that will help us to do a bubble technique so that we can kind of reclaim our own energy space.
Excellent. That's awesome.
So let's start off with the Lemurian harmonization here. Tie, hori, ora, mahakawatahi, it inwa, to irit otawan, wayutapu, it inwa, to finui, dranin tikitao, wayutapu, it inwa, to fire, tama to it, tama, wayutapu, tie, hori, ora, Okay. So that was the harmonization, and that was the undoing and the doing. Do you want me to just go ahead and teach the bubbling technique?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, gang. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to look up. And then just gently close your eyes, or your eyelids, with your eyes still pointed upward. We're going to imagine a light coming in from above. And this light can be any color that it wants to be. Let it go ahead and bathe your head, the top of your head, and go through your face, around your ears, down your throat, the back of your neck, into your shoulders, all around your shoulders. I'm feeling a little bit of tension here, so we're just going to let that cool just a little bit where the neck and the shoulders meet. Good. Down through the shoulder blades. Okay, and down into the biceps and the triceps of the upper arms, wrapping around the elbows, the forearms. Let this light bathe through your wrists, your hands, and then let that go out your fingertips towards Mother Earth. Same light from above. Let's let that light pool into your heart space, your lungs, all the way around the lungs today. All those itty bitty little crooks and crannies that I can feel. We've got some hidden spaces there. Just let this light pool all the way through that, around your heart. Underneath your heart, there's a space between the heart and the lungs. Let this light go ahead and fill that up, and we've got it. Good. Now we're going to cascade that light down through the diaphragm and into your stomach. We're going to let this really open up. We're going to power wash down your back and power wash all in your tummy area. A lot of times we store our emotions. Freaked out, somebody's cut us off in traffic, we feel in danger, it gets shoved into your stomach, and wow, there it goes. Just let that go ahead and let that light from above just go ahead and power wash that down, 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 down. Good. Let that wash in your hips. Sometimes in our life, in our world, we're being told we're not good enough. We need to stay still. We need to stay small so we don't upset the apple cart. Don't want to pop our head above the parapet. So let this wash all the way through your hip area, down through your legs, your upper thighs, your knees, power wash through your calves so that we can move forward safely through this world. We know we're doing great. Down through the ankles, the feet, and into Mother Earth. And keep this light going from above. Mother Earth is going to bubble up another energy. She's going to give you a gift. Let this be whatever light it wants to be, and let that come up through your feet, your ankles, your calves, up through your knees, your thighs, your hips, up through your tummy, bubbling all the way up, 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 until both lights meet in your heart space. Now both lights, they're going to form an orb or a sphere or a ball or a bubble. Allow this to open up so that it is all the way around you. And you can make it as large as you like. It can be 3 feet. It can be 10 feet. You'll feel where it's at, whatever's comfortable for you. Now you can actually set the intent anytime that you need throughout your day that the light comes from above and through you into the earth. A second light comes out from Mother Earth, and both of them meet in your heart space, form your bubble. Now set your intent that only your highest frequencies are going to come through this bubble. And what this is going to do is, as you go into the world, this is going to help you to be more focused on the higher frequency coming in so that you're not quite picking up on everybody's stuff as you're going into, like, say, the post office or the grocery store, going into a boardroom or a meeting. You're trying to keep your own higher frequency energy around you. There we go. That feels way better. Okay, everybody. Welcome back.
Wow. Oh, Annie says she started doing this many times a day. I love that, Annie.
Beautiful. Well done, Annie.
Yeah, just beautiful. Anybody else see the bean in Chicago? that big, beautiful glow orb of mirrored light. That's kind of what I was seeing in my orb. So beautiful. Um, yeah. Oh, Paul can feel it. Hi, Callie. Kelly. Yeah. Well, that's amazing, and I love bringing in the energy of the at the beginning, the Lemurian light codes. I could really feel a release in that, and we did it backstage too, and then doing it again here.
Watch your
Um,
third.
yeah, and I could feel like even when I talk about it, my arms twitch, but
Mhm.
I can feel that twitching as it activates and kind of let go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheryl, you feel a little lightheaded. I love that. Yeah.
If
Hi.
you're a little too woozy, you can just imagine grounding into Mother Earth if you need it.
Yeah. Aw. Yeah. Um, yeah, if you feel anything that you need to, be careful, everybody. But it feels just perfect for me. It feels like just the right amount of light and space.
I'm hearing I need to launch into doing the MP3 portion. And by the MP3 portion, I actually have given a couple of links to Teri. And what you're going to see is the shiatsu template transmissions. That's my shiatsu that I actually do for there's 4 different ones now. There's for dogs, cats, horses, humans. And what I'm going to do is, I'm sorry to jump in. It's just I'm hearing the critters are restless today, and they're not going to be denied today. So we're actually going to do the meridian work right quick. Meridians
Okay.
are rivers of energy that flow around our body, and they flow in a specific area and a specific direction. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to energetically reach through and create a template. And what's going to happen is your meridians will begin to flow and resonate with the meridian field the pattern that I put out there. It it will go ahead and begin to have your meridians and the meridians for your animals go ahead and resonate and flow with that. So actually, I'm going to go quiet here, and I'm going to hop over and do that so that yeah, sorry, I'm getting a lot of pressure from the critters today. They're really not to be denied today. So we're just going to leap right over into that right quick. So I'm going to be quiet, and I will see you on the other side. Oh, I wanted to say, if you're sensitive to energy, you may actually feel me touching different places on your body, like your neck or your shoulders. Sometimes people can feel me on the ribs. That's just me coming through. And if you're doing any like yawning, burping, passing winds, sometimes tummy rumbles, be sure to grab a drink of water afterwards, because that's just energy, that trapped emotions and trapped energy in your body that has been released. And then the water will just go ahead and flush it out. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. So I'm going to hop in. The critters are really persistent today. So this one may go kind of deep because there's a lot of new critters here today. They're really in need for whatever reason. So we're hearing a lot of heat stress. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to be quiet, and I'll be back on the other side. halfway point. I'm going to be on your right hand side now. Oh, you guys are so welcome. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Wow.
Thank yous from the animals there. Yeah, collectively, somebody's, I felt like maybe an older person, older pet, but there was some around, hip area where the lower spine meets the hip area. And then there was also a very fascinating one. There are points that actually run underneath the shoulder blades, and that was on the right-hand side. So there was some pretty deep meridian points that I don't normally go for that the group needed collectively. So I would say maybe elder support or some deep detoxing that was going on there. And I'm hearing hidden stuff. Okay. So we'll just leave it at that.
Wow. Yeah.
Now we can do your chatting. Now the animals are happy. Now I can hear them. Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Tyler is sound asleep, and he's usually our guard dog for the tribe. He's usually running in circles, making sure everybody's okay.
He says, "You got this. This is great." He's like, "No, this is good."
Yeah.
He's like,
He is sighing, man. He is just down.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's loving it. We've got a few questions. Do you want to go to questions now, or does that work for you?
If you've got something, I'm not picky, so we can chat or we can question.
Yeah, let's do chat for a little bit. So, what does it look like to you, in your mind's eye, your third eye, and your energy, your light body, when you're going into this energy?
I actually can see the meridians with my mind's eye, and for me, they're colors. The different meridians will have different colors to them, and I can also feel. It's especially if I'm doing a one-on-one, but I can feel in the collective. Sometimes it'll feel heavy. Sometimes I'll feel pain at different points in the body. And I want to caveat this. This is energy work. I actually was on course to be a veterinarian, and my life path took a different direction. I was going to be doing chiropractic and shiatsu for horses, and I diverged. But don't, if your animal friend needs a veterinarian, take them to the vet. I'm one of those that believes in using absolutely every tool at our disposal. So, but whenever I say I can go into the body, I can feel things like an enlarged liver or a stomach ulcer or ulcers within the small meridian, small intestines or the large intestines, lungs. And I'll feel it throughout the body. It's not actually my stuff. Like earlier, I had coughing and a persistent throat thing that was happening. I already know it's not my stuff. But that helps me to know what's coming in collectively, and then I'll be able to just go ahead and do the energy work and ground and clear all of that. And so when the meridians are running free and clear, They are still colors, but they're more vibrant. They look like a mountain stream and more clear. Sometimes they're bright white lights along that thread that will show up.
So bright white. And I love that mountain stream
Mhm.
in the flow.
They
Yeah,
do.
when they're flowing smoothly. And so you see things and feel them, Debbie.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll
Um,
hear things. I mean, I've got all the clairs basically, and then
yeah.
some.
Well, and this is what we have on the other side, right? It's just when we come to this planet that ego comes in and the heaviness of we're being taught that we don't have these gifts.
When we came in, the planet itself, and this is what is unusual. We are really at a very unusual point in time, and that is we're in the mixing of energies. We came through with what would be the old draconian Capricorn energy system that's very carbon based, very dense. We are transitioning towards, because we are going more into the photon belt. So that is a higher crystalline grid, higher frequency, higher dimensions. We're going to remember more of our gifts as we go forward. The gifts were here in the 3D world, but there was such an influence of beings that didn't have the higher frequency light, and so they basically were vampiring off of us or being parasites. They were using our frequency, our energy to get ahead in their world.
Wow. So, and do you feel like these beings are still here creating the chaos?
Less and
Yeah.
less. The nice thing about it is less and less. And yes, they are here. So you still do need to be aware in certain situations. But as you step more onto your ascension path, surround yourself with the frequency music. Look into things like solfeggios. I'm also hearing again with the 432 hertz. That's always a good one for your heart, because most of the music, most of the radio stuff that we have today was actually manipulated to a 440 hertz, and that kind of sets us out of sync with what will be peaceful to our bodies. And again, done intentionally. Because if we're agitated, that means that the other beings get to have our energy.
It does, doesn't it?
Why we're exhausted. Everybody's like, God, I'm so tired. I've had 10 coffees today. And it's like, yeah, because somebody's sucking off your energy. Are you in fear? You didn't make your deadline. That dread feeling. That dread feeling that you've got is that sucking sensation of a 2D entity, basically, using your energy. So the more that we can disconnect from that, turn towards things that bring you joy. Your critters are here to help. They're little earth angels for us down here. I always say that the dogs are especially for the lower chakra systems for us. They keep us grounded to Mother Earth, and they help us. Dogs will usually move energy by barking, which can be annoying sometimes. Sometimes they do something called brainless barking, where they're not actually doing anything. They're just getting a dopamine fix from it. And they literally can't hear it. But if they are barking and you really can't see it, especially at night, they can sometimes be moving energy to displace ghosts and other 2D entities. Kitty cats, a lot of times I find our kitty cats are here. They are for the upper chakras. And so they are to help you with your ascension path and to start to bring in entities and beings from the higher dimensions. So you'll begin to see things like portals and pixies and light flashes and orbs. They will tend to show up a lot more as you play with it. And most of this is just playing. We're so serious about everything. Again, that's our good energy being siphoned off.
Yeah, joy and wonder, right?
Play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. That's one of the things that I really enjoy is if you've got something that has upset you or pulled you off center, do the balancing thing that we just did, and then find some silly cat video or a toddler doing something silly, or maybe just sit and stare at some roses or listen to an ocean soundtrack or something that can be soothing, but laughter will automatically raise your frequency up higher.
Yeah. Laughter, dance, joy, and wonder. Um, and I love that cats are here and kittens to raise our vibration, because that humming sound that they make, purring, is just, I mean, put that up against your chest and it's like, it's an instant
Yeah.
awakening.
That's one too. If people are, if you've had an injury or something, that's how cats. That's a biomechanical frequency, and it is for healing purposes. So if you're like sick with the flu or something, and you do not have a kitty in your life, go onto YouTube and you can find happy cat purring, and then just play that in the background. I'm not kidding. I use every tool possible.
I love that. I love that. And we've got some horse people here too.
Yay.
I know. I love horses. I
Yep.
love them.
Yep. Wonderful.
Are some horses from the stars?
Horses are cool. Not only are they capable of holding a bigger energy signature, I have actually encountered 5 different horses that have actually been capable of doing the energy work that I have done.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. You'll see that in regular people are catching up with the idea, because they'll use horses sometimes for the disabled, handicapped children, and also for PTSD with the veterans. While that can be helpful, other horse people will know this. It's great if you have a calm, happy older horse, or even a youngster that is a well-rounded, well-grounded individual. But if you have a horse that is in fear and a flight mode, they will actually send out chaos energy that is quite a large field too. And you'll get that. Equestrians out there, you don't want to ride them, especially in the springtime. You can feel that dread energy. And what that is our heart actually has a very large magnetic resonance that is a larger signature, biomechanically speaking, than our brains are. That's part of the distortions and the manipulations that gets us all into our head. We're getting a dopamine fix. We're up here. We're not actually down in our heart, which is a much larger love signature that goes out. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because biomechanically speaking, horses have a much larger heart than a human will. So if you have a horse, like I said, that's a happy-go-lucky, they're happy, they're grounded, they're good at what they do, and they feel secure and safe, then they're going to do a great job at helping to help a veteran or somebody with PTSD or a handicapped person overcome their own things, because they're able to hold that bigger heart space if they're balanced. And that's why if you are trying to step into the saddle and you're feeling that disgusting, horrible, and every equestrian's going to know that disgusting feeling where you're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be launching over the moon today or not, or if he's going to be okay. That's what it is your horse is actually, you should probably step off and maybe do some lunging or check to make sure that they're okay with their surroundings, because horses are actually a prey animal. So if they're not comfortable, if they are loaded for bear, as they say, they may try to chuck you off simply because they don't feel safe yet. So what was it?
Wow.
Caparelli, I think, used to say a pre-flight check. And I think he said pre-flight for a reason. You want to go with your horse, not be launched over the moon.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Carol's got quite a few horses. She says she has 5 very calm horses. Yeah, they help heal her CPTSD. Yeah, my daughter used to ride, and there was a beautiful horse, Silhouette. We called her Silly, and she was a healer, 100%. She worked with so many kids, and then one day she disappeared from the stables, gone.
Gone.
Yeah, and there would have been tracks had there been a truck or something. There were no tracks.
Wow.
So we always thought that she was a spirit animal, and even
Went back home. How cool.
I know. She was so cool. She was so cool. Yeah, we've got my daughter did a painting of her that we just got done.
Oh,
I love this stuff. So we've got Also, I wanted to talk about snakes. Do you
Mhm.
work with snake energy at all, the Kundalini? Or I feel like snakes have such a beautiful energy.
I
Sometimes,
yeah, I have not worked with snake energy as a kundalini, but everybody has snake energy simply because the snake is our spine, our skull and our spine. That is the beginning of it. And so everybody's like, I don't like snakes. I get it. It's an instinctive thing. But at the root of us, we do have that deep core reptilian energy first. And then over the top of that are the layers of the mammalian compassion, higher foresight, connections. But as far as actually working with snake energy for Kundalini, no. But as far as meridian work, yeah, I've worked with snakes. Not all of them. I still
yeah,
haven't used copperheads, but to be fair,
yeah.
they started. So
I'm not messing with the water snake. Let me tell you.
I'm fine with the water snakes. That's the weird
Yeah,
thing. And that's just it because they've been fine with me. So I don't
yeah,
know something about copperheads. They're just pugilists. So
yeah, yeah.
part of
They
it.
right. Um, and then I had a teacher, Shambhavi, um, and she would always talk about the birds, the winged ones.
Aliens.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
how they bring us messages from the heavens.
Yes.
Yeah. And I always,
Your Indian tribes, Native American Indians will have that energy and that knowing and knowledge, as well as star seeds. There are alien starseed nations that also have that as well, that come
yeah,
through messages.
yeah, the winged ones. So what about, do you go inside the animal energy to see out of their bodies when you're in there? Or do you,
Most of
go
the time, I don't go into it. I can go and see through their eyes if I have to.
yeah,
But a lot of times, what I'm doing is they're very much still in their body, and so we're doing an exploration together. Because sometimes it's the same thing as with a human. Sometimes we will be through, like, say, I'll give you an example. We'll go through a car accident, and right after the impact, and you're standing there with the officer and the people afterwards, and you're going, yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then it doesn't actually register until like the next day. And suddenly you're like, oh man, where did that come from? I had no idea. And so sometimes it's the same thing with the animals. They will have a numbness around an area that has been, the meridian has been blocked or constricted, and they don't know because there has been a numbness that has been set up around it. And sometimes they're like, "What am I going to do with that?" And it's like, it's okay. We'll reestablish that flow. We're gonna ease this up, and we're gonna bring the energy back through, which will also encourage your blood flow to come through, and it brings life back into that space, into that flow that is needed. And then they're fine.
um, do you encounter very many animals, and you don't have to answer this if you'd rather not, that you feel are, shapeshifters um, or beings?
A lot of it depends. Sometimes the animals that come through, they're from our ancestors, and they're here to help us along our journeys. A lot of them are here to ease us as we are doing our missions down here. And I know a lot of people get sometimes hung up on our purposes, but really us just being here um, is shifting the planet. The more you can stay in your center, the more that you can keep doing the ascension path and raising your frequency and being in tune with your inner being. Keep checking in with yourself. They're trying to help you with that piece. Um, as far as an actual, do you mean like the shapeshifters from Native American Indians? Or are we talking trickster energy?
Um,
I have seen the trickster energy, not very frequently, because my in childhood I saw different areas, more in the Midwest, where it would have come through. Some areas have more portals than others. And so I was actually in an area when I was younger where there was more potential for not nice things to be able to come through. And they would have been as a wild animal looking coyote energy, which is again Native American trickster energy, which sometimes trickster energy can be good for you. Sometimes they wake up, shake up, and it's intentional to make you think differently, see things differently. But some of the shapeshifters, they're not nice, and they are, I guess you could say, not just here to feed on your body, but also your soul.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Which
Yeah.
gives you beat feet and don't go anywhere near. But
Yeah.
thankfully, I think you do have to be more cautious. But we are entering into a different time. It's not nearly as lethal as it was back then. But there are still areas that if your gut instinct, if you're trying to go on a hike, say in a canyon in Arizona, and your gut is screaming, don't do it, don't do it. I'll give you a big fat for instance. Day before yesterday, my husband and I needed to go on a road trip. And even though we weren't supposed to be going until almost 2 hours later, our intuition kept saying, go now, go now, go now, go now. And so we went. We don't know. We don't know why. There could have been a car accident. There could have been a fatality. There could have been a tree fell on us. I mean, anything could have happened.
Yeah.
But you begin to listen to that intuition more and more as you do this.
Sure. Yeah. That's great. Okay, I'm going to get to some of these questions because people are, really looking. Sarah, hi, Teri and Debbie. Going through a tough time due to a marriage breakdown. My cat is around me more than usual. Do you think she understands what's going on?
They understand exclusively.
Yeah.
Animals will actually use telepathy. And so for them, the energy work is, that's how they communicate. So yes, your cat absolutely understands. She may be a little bit clingy because mom and dad are fighting, or she may be slightly more up on her energy scale, and she may actually be trying to help you through this time. In other words, she may have picked your corner for this fight, and I'm not even going to say it's tough. I mean, it is tough. And I'll also speak to this too. Right now, it's a little bit less than what we used to be, but we are at a point since 2020 where people are picking their timelines. And because we have choices down here, you can pick the frequency that you want to be in. You can be in the new energy, which is with the fairies and the pixies, and it's a higher frequency and you're experiencing orbs and fun stuff. Or you can go back to what is familiar, the older, harder way, but you know things are in a structure and it's going to be this way because you've been trained it's going to be this way. And so you cling to the familiar because that is your regularity and that's where you want to be. You have choices, and so you can, I call it the low road, but you can choose the low frequency path or you can choose the high frequency path. And your animals are going to choose too. Not all of the animals are going to be on an ascension path. I have seen everything. I've seen cats, dogs, and horses, a few birds even, that have chosen the lower because, again, it is something that they understand. Sometimes this energy shift is too much and people are deciding, I've had enough. I've done what I could. It's my time to step off. And so they will exit. And it's simply their choice. They didn't choose to continue through what we're going to be going through, which is just simply more of the same. We're stepping into the new light and into the new frequencies. Sometimes it's not fun. I mean, sometimes you're like slogging through water. And
Right.
Like it's really tough going and you're exhausted, sleep deprived sometimes. And then other times you're so agitated, you're just angry. And some of that can be picking up, yeah, okay, group. Nice. So we have some angry people in here. Actually, check yourself, because that may not be. And again, you're like, I'm just pissed off because these people in the world. Double check yourself. Because if you are looking at the news, quote, quote, that's not actual real information. Someone's told you a story. And so you don't know if it's true or not. You could be just picking up on their energy. And a lot of the 2D energy entities, they want to steal your energy. They want you pissed because that's a huge jolt for them. That's a huge energy packet boost that they've just gotten.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of that out there. There's only so many places we can put our attention. And if we choose to put it in the news sector of the chaos, then chaos is, if we give the world chaos energy, we get chaos energy. But if we give it love, we get love, I think.
And sometimes we can't do love. I mean, it's like this, marriage breakdown. Damn, that's tough.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do with that? You're supposed to just go into neutrality. Neutrality is good. And I'm not saying don't be angry, because there's going to be a whole bunch of anger come up. And a lot of that is your time element. What the hell happened? And if you can even just move an edge slightly over towards neutrality of, this thing's happening, I'm going to have to accept that this thing is happening. Maybe we'll be on the same page again, maybe not. The very first set that we just did, the harmonizing and the doing and the undoing, you can re-listen to those, and that will help to do away with or collapse the stories that you have around what's actually been happening. And sometimes we do suddenly wake up and it's like, who are you? You're a different person. Yeah, well, they chose a different path. They're on a different frequency, and they will be taking a different timeline. It just is what it is.
Yeah. Carol's asking about her yearling. Had trauma regarding food that has made him anxious when being fed. I've worked with him using the emotion code, and he's better. Any help would be so appreciative.
Is that the yearling that's in the photo, or is that another horse? Oh, that's another horse, isn't it?
There's a little delay from YouTube to that. Carol, is that the same? I think it's a different horse.
It looks more mature than a yearling, but
yeah,
depending on
that's her mare, Dakota.
Let me see if I can. What I would say to you is go ahead and feed him in an area. If he is getting anxious around other horses swooping in on him while he's eating, or if he's worried that he's going to be missing out, if he's worried that he's going to be missing out on the action or something, what you can start doing with everybody, if he's concerned with what the herd is doing, you can just tie everybody up or bring everybody into the bar. I know it's a pain in the butt, but you can bring everybody in for feed times and have them all separated so that he can feel in a safe space and take his time for the eating portion, so that he's not having to compete with everybody else, to help soothe that a little bit better. And you can certainly do, when you're in there, go back through to the MP3 portion, or you can click through and purchase the MP3 for the horses. But you can play that for him. Okay, go ahead and play that for him whenever he is actually eating, and see if that helps to ground him and give him easier digestion and everything. I would start playing those, and actually there might be something.
Great. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Sally. Oh, the next one is the question. If you could check in with my cat, Mr. Boo. You're traumatic or he's traumatic? Sally. Mr. Boo gets upset. Yeah. Oh, ask him if he's willing to go, Mr. Boo, if he's willing to go on another cross-country trip driving. If so, which vehicle, van or RV?
I don't know if it helps, but he was showing a white vehicle. Is one of them white? Typical cat. They just ran off. He was actually not showing me that upset, so I don't even know if I've got the right cat. I usually work with photos, but I've been trying to get better at reaching out into the ethers for it. I will say that I don't know if they have got one of them now for a car, but there's something called Feel Away that is like a hormone therapy that you plug into a light socket that can help. Maybe it's much bigger.
Oh, and she says they're both white, and he recovered well, and they're home now.
He was just showing me a lot of laughter. I don't know if he's like doing like he thought it was funny that you thought that he was upset. I don't get that. He seems to be quite happy at the moment. I'll send him some energy, but he's got a little bit around his head. Let's see if I can just get that cleared up a little bit. That's better. Okay. I would say he'd be okay to go for another road trip, though. Were you in an accident then?
I don't believe she was. I think she would have. He drools all the time when he purrs. She says, "Nasty."
Persian. Persian cats, for whatever reason, seem to do that a lot.
Yeah, no accident. I didn't think so. Yeah, I knew you would have told us.
He felt like he was laughing. I don't know if he's like putting you on or something. It's like he thought it was a game. He kept giggling for whatever reason.
Oh, Randy says drool is a love potion. He's a good boy otherwise. Yeah. Awesome. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay, Cheryl. How can I help my mom let go of her elderly cats? One of them has been quite ill.
If they are really ill, what you can do with your mom is simply let her know that your cat is really not in a good space. And it would be kinder if you did go ahead and let them go so that they could be released out of that illness. And go ahead and play, the MP3 thing that we did earlier, that energy balancing thing that we did for the meridians. Play that a lot. You can actually put that on a loop next to the elderly kitty cats, and it's not going to harm anything. Give it a try. See if it will help with the kitty cat to help bounce them back. Sometimes it will help. I'm not trying to give false hope, but sometimes that will help them to reverse. But if you think it's time, and especially if this is a situation where you don't want to let go of your cat, and all of a sudden you are thinking of like, I should contact the vet, I should try to set up an appointment for something, and you're like, oh my God, where did that thought come from? It's actually not your thought. It's actually your pet that is asking you to go ahead and set that up for them. They are ready to go. And that's how they communicate, is they're actually communicating that telepathically. But that's tough. That is, when we have to say goodbye, that is really hard.
What do you think about euthanasia with animals?
It's easier for them than it is for us because they just go to the other side and they come right back.
Yeah. Do you feel like they have a shorter span in between lifetimes?
They do, and it's mostly because they are so close to source that they dip over, they download, and a lot of times, like I said, they come right back. We do too. So we've been here many, many times. We will be here many, many times again. That's just what we do. That's just what this planet is set up to do. They have a shorter lifespan, and when they are older, a lot of it just depends on them, how much time that they do want to spend Sometimes they just need to go because they need to renew and refresh on the other side. And then other times you're going to see where they just really want to try to squeeze as much time as they can with their family down here. But they don't think of, and that's the other thing, animals tend to be more quality of life than they do quantity of life. They don't tend to hold the same opinions of lifespans as we do down here. So a lot of times they're ready to go, and the human's like, I can't let them go. And that's just it. It's the human can't let them go. And that is really, really tough. In there, I've had them linger longer than they probably should have, just for my own sake. So
Yeah, I've done the same, and then I've had them walk out faster than I thought they would too. Yeah.
I was just like, whoa, what happened? Why did you leave?
Yeah.
And it's just circumstances, you know. They're like, I'll be right back, and they come back as a different life form.
Oh, these guys come back all the time. Mine have been in and out. Yeah, with me. Okay, Liz. My rescue had a PTSD panic attack when she heard a screaming dog in a video. Took her an hour to calm down. Can you see any of her past experience in the jungle? I cried with her. And Liz lives on an island, and there is a jungle there.
Liz, what I'm going to recommend you do is the first Huna stuff that you heard me do, the first Lemurian light coding that you heard me do at the beginning, with the harmonization and then the undoing and the doing. Play that for her. You can play the whole bit that I did, all of the energy healing, if you would like, for her. But what that's going to do is that will help to collapse that energy around what happened to her previously. And I got to be honest, when you hear a dog screaming in a video, that same energy is being thrown out into the ethers. When they hear a dog scream, they're going to react to it no matter how much you have collapsed the PTSD from prior stuff, because they're going to react to it. So it could be that she'll still get up and be upset over that. And you, as the adult, need to make sure that you don't play that around her if possible. Hit the mute button if you know it's going to happen. Or just play those videos when she's not around.
Yeah, it's like controlling what we watch, right? If we're watching murder, mayhem.
I mean, when we watch stuff, you don't want to have your 2-year-old exposed to that. It's the same thing as our pets, because they really emotionally, they'll be at the toddler level most often. So just, watch what you're doing around them.
Yeah. My frequency likes Downton Abbey and Hallmark Channel things right now. So it's easier to watch. Delphi Ross, what do I need to know about my 16-year-old dog, Toro? Semi-blind and deaf, please.
He seems happy. Seems really happy with life, actually. Carry on. Toro really does. If you're concerned, go ahead and maybe keep a leash on Toro. And what you can do, because I used to dog groom, when I had some that came in that were completely blind and deaf, I would put a leash on them in the kennel whenever they were drawing. And then whenever I would need to get them out, what I would do is come up and just blow on them so that they could smell the breath and they could feel that sensation. That way you're not just reaching in and touching them out of the blue. And I find that really helped. But you can use the leash on them to help just slightly tug beforehand. But yeah, that seems to help if there's a communication trouble there. But Toro, to me, feels very happy.
Wow.
Seems to be enjoying life. Seems to be really engaged with the family. Still seems to be engaged with life. So I say carry on.
That's great. Yeah. Sometimes when people have different tendencies, whether it's autism or neurodiversity or something, and we want them to be happy the way we're happy, right? And it's hard to understand sometimes what somebody else's idea of happiness is. But just sitting there with you feels happy, I think, Delphi.
I'm happy with the food. So whatever you're doing, carry on.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, there it goes. Annie Bear, standing in my light. I hid my channel and now cannot unhide it. Is this for my highest good?
Oh, you think that you've turned your channel off? Is that what
Well,
that? Or
um,
is she not on? I hid. Oh, you mean you hid it first, but now you can't unhide it.
yeah,
Is really inconvenient. I find if you have turned on your psychic gifts or you have gone onto the ascension path, once your foot steps onto that thing at first, it can freak you out and you're going to want to hide. But once you've started, oftentimes you're committed. It's the roller coaster. You're at the top of the hill, man. You're going down whether you want it or not.
yeah,
You're on your roller coaster ride, and of course, it's going to be for your highest good if you're on your ascension path. Sometimes, sometimes your stuff is unfolding a little too fast for you to be comfortable in it, and I would say still stick with ascension music, frequency music if you can, but maybe just step it back and take your time. You can do long soaking baths if you need. You hid. All of us did. I mean,
yeah.
I'm only here because Karen Robinson shoved my butt into the limelight. Otherwise, I'd still be hiding under a basket somewhere.
I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you did, Debbie. And she had her channel on YouTube too. She had a channel or has a channel. Yeah,
You hit it for a little bit. That's fine. If you need
yeah,
to take a break, especially if you're doing where you are expanding and you are assimilating the new codes and the new frequencies and you're learning, then you attracted a creepy stranger. I'm hearing you could rebrand as a different channel if you need to be. You can also do, I don't know if you can do this safely or not, but I'm seeing a sage shaman ceremony that actually does have sage burning and they're doing a smudging with an eagle feather. I don't know if you know a ceremony to do that. You could, if you're in an area that's like a high burn area right now, you could probably find a YouTube video that's showing that and just go around your
she,
house, your home, your space doing that too.
yeah. She's indigenous from several tribes, and she does shamanic work as well. So,
Use it.
yeah,
Your ancestors had that there for a reason. If that's something that you're resonating with and you know that ceremony, use it. Don't give your power to the stranger. Your power is actually the more that you do this and the more that you step into these Lemurian codes and you do your balancing and you step into your shamanic practices, you will hold your core and you will be stronger. That said, ladies, always watch yourselves. Make sure that somebody is not actually stalking you in the 3D world and take precautions if you need to. You don't have to be afraid, but do be aware of yourselves.
yeah, yeah. Awesome. And gosh, we're getting through them, man.
Good.
And do you have time for one more?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Let's see, Liz. I just got my mom's elder dog last night while she's on vacation. My puppy is a bit much with her. Do you see her getting comfortable here?
I don't know how older the elder dog is. Sometimes with the puppies, you need to go ahead and step in and give the older one their own space if you need, even if that's just put the puppy on a leash or put them in a crate to physically give them a bit of space. With the elder dog, also what you can do while she's on vacation, anything that smells like home, make sure your puppy can't get to it. So if she came with a blankie, make sure that it stays in her own crate or her own bedding area that your puppy can't touch or get to, so that she's got her own smells from home to be the most comfortable that she can be. Yeah, she should do pretty good there. And again, replay the energy stuff that we just did. I'm sure there'll be a time span for something, or just throw it on from the beginning. I know it sounds silly, but you'd be shocked at how many people have gotten relief. Dogs have gotten comfortable. Cats have gotten a lot more comfortable. Birds have done a 360 and came out dancing.
Yeah.
So the meridian balancing does help. But what you have is two different dogs from different walks of life. Your puppy's going to be enthused that there's an older person there basically to play with. And so you've got a dog that's in not their territory and will be feeling slightly overwhelmed sometimes. Yeah, I would do that just to give them space. It would be the same thing as a toddler going and visiting an 80-year-old. You do want them to experience grandma and great grandpa, but you don't want them using grandma or great grandpa as a jungle gym. Yeah. And it's overwhelming. Yeah. So you just need a timeout sometimes so that the older person can breathe, feel safe. Oh, thank you, honey.
Sorry. When one of my dogs was 17 or 18 and there was a young puppy in the neighborhood and it would just jump all over her and she would just look at me like, "Are you kidding me? Are you
It's this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, it's the same thing as would you let your kindergartner
Yeah.
going up to an 80-year-old and start climbing on them? No. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with the dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Annie, for posting that. I sure appreciate it. And everybody's talking about a VPN. Send me that information. I think I need one too. So yeah. Aw. And Delphi Ross is talking about how she makes her dogs food. So I love that.
Oh,
I love that, Delphi. All right, everybody. Well, we're over an hour, and I thank you so much for being here, Debbie. This was such a treat, and I knew it would be. So thank you for all these healings and clearings.
you're
I can
welcome.
sure feel it. Yeah, yeah. Your energy is just amazing. It's very direct and very clear spoken. And that's something that we talk about a lot on the channel is having clarity of thought and clarity of what we hear ourselves say. And I just think that's such a gift. And it's I love hearing you speak because I can tell you have that.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Thank you for sharing me with your audience today. And thank you for showing up, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for being here, everybody. So we will see you all later. Do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about?
I think I am next on Allie's show on June 20th. And then I have another show with Valerie at Illumination Portal. That'll be the last week in June. And even though behind the scenes I'm working on a YouTube channel, it's still in the process of being created.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. It takes a hot minute and then you're like, bam, you got her done. But she does have Debbie does have, thank you for posting that, Annie. Yeah. DebbieDement.com, Shiatsu template transmissions, Teri to choose from, and then a store also with the MP3s. So
Yeah, we didn't get very much into the Lemurian stuff. The Lemurian shot that I have is literally the new birth signs, the new Lemurian birth signs. And as I was saying backstage with Teri, right now we are in the sign of Kopanui for the June month. That is June 1st through the 28th. And so that's the sign of the wombat, Kopanui. And if you want, you can go into the shop. I do have merchandise. I've got all the signs on hoodies and things. It is a 13 sign for the Lemurian birth signs, and you can dip in there and read about your birth signs. They all have their different animals, the symbols, and then they have the essence and also the stargate that the central sun, the light comes through.
wow, that's awesome. I love that. All right, everybody. And I have on June 16th, I want to say something must be happening in September too, because they keep bringing in September to my head. On June 16th, I'll be doing another Zoom healing event with Debbie Freebird and Tuta Speaks, sorry, and Spirit Whisper. And we will have that healing event. So I'll be leading the meditation and facilitating, and I hope everybody can come. It's a Zoom event, and it's a love offering And there are definitely scholarships available for that love. So everybody have a great week and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.